Hey, working mom. Thank you so much for clicking on this career development training. I'm Latika Vines from Visionary Initiatives, and I am an author, career development consultant, and coach, helping working moms just like yourself in the government successfully balance life so you can grow your career while at the same time helping organizations grow their employees' career. Today, I want to talk to you the four key points to remember when applying for your next job on USA Jobs. Now, we've all done this. We've applied and gotten jobs on USA Jobs a few times, a few times. Maybe you've, gone to a different agency, or maybe you've applied for jobs within your particular agency. We've done it. We've been there. But there may be times where we applied for jobs and we did not get them and we just didn't hear anything back. We might have gotten the email that, our resume was sent to the hiring manager, or, they're looking at our resume or something like that, which is good. But we all been in the government long enough to know that doesn't mean much. It doesn't mean much when it's been months down the road and still nothing. You haven't heard anything. But you might wonder, I spent all this time, back then filling out my KSAs, now, completing the questionnaire, submitting my SF50, and if you're a vet, my DD-214s, and all this other information, and still not get a word. Have you ever thought to yourself, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Well, today I want to talk about what we need to remember when we're applying for these jobs on USA Jobs. We all know a lot of times it's tricky. It is very tricky. But when we are clear on our brand, our career brand, when we're clear on the direction of where we're going in our career, it's not as hard as we think it is. Now, here are some things I want you to remember. The first is that when you are reviewing your resume and when you're updating it, make sure that you're also looking at your job announcement. Print out that job announcement and look at all of the keywords, look at all the qualifications, look at everything, the summary of the position. Look at it all and use the verbs and the adjectives that are in that job announcement on your resume. Use it on your resume, because remember, these keywords are the things that, these hiring managers are going to look for. And I'm not saying, to plagiarize, but what I am saying is to use those keywords, especially when you have a clear brand, you have a clear direction of where you're going in your career. A lot of times you've already done the work that you see on this job announcement, but it's how you phrase it, what words you're using. So use those verbs and those adjectives that match what's in the job announcement, so that you can be that standout resume, and you can also go on to having that interview. The second is to get eliminate any type of military or technical jargon in your resume. A lot of times, the people who are looking at your resume have no idea what jargon you are using. They have no idea what jargon you are using. A lot of times, these recruiters or classifiers, um, these individuals who are looking at our stuff, the positions, the job announcements, creating the job announcements, looking at the job announcements, approving the job announcements, looking at your resume, they're not in the position that you're applying for. They're not in the department or the division that you're applying to be in. they're in the HR side of the house, or they're in the mission support side of the house. They have no idea what this jargon is. Now, when it comes to, the person making the final decision, yes, they know that jargon. They know the military and the technical jargon. Absolutely. But when it comes to the first eyes that see your resume, they have no idea what that jargon means. So eliminate any type of military or technical jargon. And that goes for any jargon outside of business that you have on your resume. Eliminate it so that the first eyes that see it can clearly see, oh, you are the best candidate for this job. Let me slide your resume over here to the hiring manager and put a circle saying hire this person. You know what I mean? So make sure that you can eliminate that jargon, and that it is you use the best business jargon possible to on your resume. The third is to include your accomplishments. For so many of us, especially us working moms, especially us women, we have a hard time um, tooting our own horn, if you will. We have a hard time really showcasing our accomplishments. But our resume is the one time that we can be boastful. So if this is your one time to be boastful, be boastful. Use your measurements. What success rate have you accomplished in this particular agency? What have you created? What tool have you created? What documents have you created within your position? Put that on your resume so that when the person who is looking at your resume knows, oh, she has it together. She knows what she is doing. She's a great fit. She is perfect. She understands this particular field. So make sure that you can include your accomplishments. And when I say accomplishments, make sure they are measurable. Don't just put, I led a team to increase sales. No, how many people were on that team? What was the percentage of increase? And what was the amount of sales? What year was this? Was there a recession going on? Were you under CR? Was there a furlough going on? Put those accomplishments in. Put those accomplishments in, because those are the things that are going to make you stand out as a subject matter expert. And then the fourth is to focus on the mission of the organization or agency that you're applying to, and make sure that is in your resume. So if you are going to go work for the Department of Homeland Security, what in your resume says that you are going to make sure, or you have the experience to protect the homeland, that you are going to, and DHS has so many organizations within it. It's about 26 organizations, but what part of security do you have in your resume? Let's say you are looking to go to CIS, um, or you're going to FEMA, um, or you are going to CBP. What in your resume states that you are dedicated to the mission of these individual organizations? And another tip I'm going to add as well is make sure your resume is customized. You cannot do a one size fits all resume for those three different organizations, because let me tell you this, even though all three of those organizations are under DHS, they have three different missions. Three different missions. What CBP does is completely different from what CIS does, and it's completely different from what FEMA does. All three of them have a very different mission within the bigger mission of protecting the homeland. So it is so important that you customize your resume. But again, make sure that it's customized to fit the mission of the organization, fit the mission of the organization. So that means you're going to have to do more digging, more research to make sure that this is the agency, the organization that you really want to go into. So it's so important that you look at everything before you sit down for your resume writing to update it, so that you can make sure that you're the best fit for this position and for the organization. So if you are looking for that next position, for that promotion, again, remember this when it's time for you to write, to update your resume. One, make sure that you use the verbs and adjectives that match the keywords in the job announcement. That two, that you eliminate any type of military or technical jargon according to your industry, so that the person who is looking at your resume, the first eyes on it, can say you are the best candidate, not because of the jargon you use, but because of what is in your resume, the skills that are transferring to this particular organization. The third is make sure you include your accomplishments. This is the one time that you can be boastful, so do it. Do it, be boastful. And then the fourth one is to make sure you focus on the mission of the agency. And if you're going to DHS or any other agency that may have 26 sub agencies in it, make sure you're focused on that mission and that it translates into your resume, so that you can have the resume that stands out the best. Now, the Department of Labor has some really great tips on, what you can do as far as updating your resume. Also, USA Jobs has some really great tips on how you can update your resume, what type of forms that you can use. It actually has clickable links that you can go to, and you can actually see what those forms are. It tells you exactly where it is in your personnel folder. So these are some really great websites, Department of Labor and USA Jobs. Go to those websites for further information on how you can update your resume so you can apply for that new position, for that promotion that you want and that you desire in your career. Now, if you are ready to apply for this position and you need help, you need someone to sit down and talk with you, to strategize, to help you with everything, the formats, what format is best to use for this particular job announcement that you're applying for, please click on the link below so that we can sit down and discuss where you want to go in your career as far as this new position and how we can tailor your resume to that position so that you can be the best candidate for that job. So I'm going to leave that link below for you to click in, and I just can't wait to get in touch with you so that we can not only jumpstart your career, but really help you in getting to that next position. Thank you so much for joining me for this career development training today. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.